I went to the UK in 2014 to study, and like any other international student or Indian student, the aspiration was to study and get a nice fancy job. In our case, there was no post study work visa when we started studying. So, both me and Dhruv, my co founder, both of us had a couple of months after our degree finished, and after that, find a job was really difficult. And that's where we thought, well, we need to make it quite easy for international students.
Hi, I welcome you to the Crazy Careers podcast.
I look forward to the conversation that we'll be having today.
So, before we get into the actual conversation, would you mind letting us know a bit about yourself?
So, for me, I went to the UK in 2014 to study. And like any other international student or Indian student, the aspiration was to study and get a nice fancy job abroad, which is usually the motive with which you make this huge investment to go. And in our case, there was no post study work visa when we started studying. So both me and Dhruv, my co-founder, both of us had a couple of months after our degree finished, and I did a master's in finance, and after that, find a banking job was really difficult because of the visa circumstances, etc. And that's where we thought, well, we need to make it quite easy for international students, who are coming from everywhere in the world, so many hopes and dreams. And we started Student Circus as a job readiness platform for international students specifically. So wherever you are from, if you're coming in to study in UK, Australia, Ireland, Canada, Student Circus is your go-to partner to find a job or internship um, in that country. So, we remove the hassle of visas and we take you straight to the job.
Right. Just to make sure it is not only for Indian students, this platform is for wherever you are in the entire globe. But if you are looking for something, some opportunities in these countries, whatever you have mentioned, then obviously Student Circus will be the go-to part, right?
Because we're from here. But anyone can use the platform. We've got students from over 100 nationalities using the platform.
So, yes, I think it's a very valid question. Why the name Student Circus?
One day, as students, we started the business actually when we were at university. So it was very much on campus. And one day we randomly said, oh my God, the life as an international student is a circus. There is so much to juggle. There is constant balancing act that you have to do. And that was it. And from that date, Student Circus. And we thought, that as a job search platform, we need to have a slightly serious. But overall, all the university students, like they started remembering it so well that we just went with it.
That's what we always need that intersection, like what idea we have and whether our audience, whether it is student, early stage professional, they're liking it or not, how they're responding to that need. And once that intersection you have achieved half the way. So, what is the biggest job challenge for international students in the United Kingdom?
One of the things that students often forget is, and it's a very cultural thing, right? Students start applying for jobs towards the end of their degree. Because in India as well, right, the placement comes towards, well, you've almost decided what your career you want to get in. But you actually have to start before you even land. So there are basics like, which we see like Indian students don't have LinkedIn profiles. Their CV is not according to the UK employers. These are the things that can be remedied, but of course, maybe they are not made culturally aware about this beforehand, or they're not even thinking about it. I'll go and figure it out when I go there, um, as well. So it's a mix of these things. But starting early is something that we constantly recommend to students. To ease that timeline.
Why do you think like many Indian students abroad now looking for jobs in India?
A mindset thing as well. So when I went to the UK, for example, this is again 10 years ago. When I told my father that I might come back to India, it was deemed like you failed, right? You went there, you invested all this money, and he clearly told me, listen, there are no jobs in India which you might qualify for right now because you've studied abroad. And if you come back, that means you've not found a job. That's why you're coming back. But in the last 10 years, what has changed is the Indian landscape, the kind of companies that come in, the startup culture, the salaries, the skills, all of that combined now makes India you can see what's happening across, right? Everybody wants to have an office in India, have a team in India, be present for Indian customers as well. So we are very much at the epicenter of any development that takes place, which now tells the student actually going back home is not a bad option, you know. And I take all these skills, I take all these experiences that I have in the UK, and actually I have a big leverage when I go back home because I might have something extra to offer.
Absolutely. So, what do you think? Is it a temporary trend or a long term shift?
Long term aspiration now for, you know, firstly, with India also expanding its education policy, you know, universities from the UK are now coming to set up campuses in India. 8 universities have confirmed that. So all of this says that, well, there is enough opportunity. And returning students often create a lot of value as well. You know, a lot of big companies have students who are alumni of these universities as well. So they will be adding that value.
Right, absolutely. So, linking to my previous question, so how do Indian employers today view foreign degrees?
Okay, if you any major city, which is like the regional hubs, you know, pretty much, employers are very well aware, you know, and they know that okay, there is a pool of students that we could hire. What is their salary expectation? The cultural mindset also, you know, back. I think where we need to do some work is sensitize in the tier 2 and 3 cities, where still an employer feels, oh, this person has studied abroad, I'll have to pay them more. I don't want to do that, you know, because you know their salary expectation might be more. So I'd rather hire someone who's from an Indian university rather than, you know, hiring someone. So we are doing some work in that area to get more employers sensitized to the fact that it's not the case. You know, student will now come for the opportunity and the growth. Um, for them, they know I will meet that salary level at some point in my career.
So, are you also catering to the students who have got degrees in India and they are looking for internship or job in India only?
Aspirational growth plans, because as these foreign universities come to India, that again gives us a huge market to interlink the international education bit with the jobs in India. But we are doing some work around returning students who are coming back. Help them with their
I think that would be a great option also because the quality of education in India is improving and students are looking at premier colleges in India only and outside Indian students are also coming up here and simultaneously the opportunities are also rising up, so there will be a perfect balance soon.
You know, again, I go back to when I was in uni, a lot of the courses didn't even exist when we were studying. Now the student wants a university which is quick enough, versatile enough to change the way they teach, to teach new things to them, you know, and universities abroad are quite well placed to do that as well. So now they're, you know, launching courses in AI, data driven, science and engineering for their campuses in India. And again, they know that Indians will do a great job at any of these careers as well historically.
Absolutely. So, what advantage do globally educated graduates have in India?
One of the things you don't have to worry about is that whole cultural onboarding and nuances, right? You're from the country, you know how things work. The mindset is what they bring. So, you know, when I studied in India and then I went abroad to study, there were things that I never thought are skills as well, like critical thinking, like leadership, teamwork, you know, these softer skills are what employers outside look for. And I'll give you a small example. I remember there was a lecture in my M&A class, mergers and acquisitions class, and an investment banker came in to give that lecture for 3 hours. We looked at his LinkedIn profile, okay? You will not believe his undergraduate degree was in languages. He had studied Japanese in his undergrad degree, went on to work in finance. And we wondered as Indian students, you were thinking, oh, I've studied finance, I need to work in finance. You know, that's the core link. But when you studied abroad, you are free to go into whatever stream you want because the employer looks at the skills. You know, are you adaptable? Are you a quick learner? What is your problem solving? You know, what you've done outside of class. So when you have to apply for jobs, you don't even have your grades in your hand.
Right. So, some like decades ago, there was this mindset like whatever you are studying, you have
Yeah.
to carry forward your career in that degree itself. But there is a trend now, like anyone can change their career at any point in time, and there is nothing wrong about it. But at that time, it was a taboo. What should students focus on their first 6 to 8 months abroad?
Going abroad is like day zero. Before you go, I think there's a lot of homework you should be doing. In that time, you build up the excitement for your employability. So, looking up at what kind of jobs are available, what does an employer want, going through the resources your university will give you. That's one of the biggest thing you should be doing in the first 2 to 3 weeks when you land in that country. Go to your careers, understand and find out what is different about where you come from and where you are going, right? And that's the part a lot of students won't spend time on. We all love to go on LinkedIn, click on easy apply, uh, but without reading what the company actually wants. In the UK, that's the utmost important thing for any employer. Are you customizing your application? Are you putting these outside of classroom skills to use and then practically showcasing them? So there's an entire kind of mind shift that you have to do when you're abroad, and the first couple of months are very very important. We see that a lot of students towards the end of their degree will email us, call us,
Right.
panicking, my visa is going to expire in a month, I need a job, help me. And then we look at their CV. What did you do in this last 1 year of being in that country outside of classroom? You know, which holds actually more importance to the employers.
Not only like when you're studying abroad and you have that kind of CV, even in India also, if you're opting for any Indian university, not only classroom, what you're doing apart from that, even if it is a hobby, that counts. So
Are you a good citizen? Are you socially and aware about, sensitized about what's happening around you? These things hold a lot of value in today's time, and you're right. It's anywhere in the world that these hold value. These have held value outside of India for many many years, and now that we're shifting the mindset here also with employers and the workforce.
right. All right. It was really an insightful conversation, and thank you so much for joining us today.
We've already looked at some of the work you've done, and yeah, we look forward to hearing from you.